do this before I forget. We're going to be talking about the ninth chakra, and I'm really, really excited about it. I've never taught this work in my class series before, and that is because we really haven't been ready for it. It's still pretty mind-blowing to work on all of these levels. You guys felt what it was like to go 1 through 7. The other psychic training that happened in 2018, we went to 8. And that was like, woo, you know, our nervous systems were feeling it. And so now our consciousness, even in 2 years, has shifted so much, and I'm really excited about it. So, so thank you for being here. And so the plan this evening is going to be to do a really juicy clean out. We're going to get Earth and Cosmic really running. We're going to get our aura around us nice and heavy. And I just want you to be willing to be in whatever comes up for you during this time. Because sometimes when we do big, long clean outs and clear outs, you can kind of float with your consciousness kind of in and out and not be here for some of it, or feel a lot of dissonance or resistance in certain areas, or just kind of like lose your energy. Would you note when that happens so that you can become aware? That's it. We're going through these layers. We're doing all this tedious minutia-based psychic work because we're lacing your consciousness into places it has never consciously been before. Your energy's been there, but really predominantly some other stuff has been there. And tonight's when we really start saying hello to what that other stuff is. So once we're done doing a clean out, we're going to talk a little bit about the 8th and 9th chakras, the interesting energy that I've read about them. And then I'm going to teach you what I have been doing with them. And it's actually quite a lot darker than I was wanting to go, but I think it's really time for us to say hello to where these games have been coming from, where the planet energy and the structures and the things we're seeing playing out right now, where that stuff is coming from. So we're going to be starting to speak to the municipalities, which are these like panels of energy that kind of run things. And so we're going to be saying hello to a lot of like gargoyles, as I call them, lots of old energies that are really controlling. The fun thing about this, and I can see all you guys' nervous systems are like, yes, because it's exciting to have autonomy in a space where you felt really just like put upon. And now there's so much space in the astral for you to begin to work with these energies and to change the structures and to change the game for everybody, not just you. So we built all this strength, we built all this energy to be able to go up into the 9th dimension of the astral, which by the way is right in your energy sphere, and go, yeah, we're not doing fascism. Yeah, we're not doing this. Yeah, we're done with that. And so many of us that are empaths and psychics, we feel the old energy so intensely. This is the day where it turns around and you attack them. and really start to merge with these energies and say yes and say no to the things that you truly want. So I hope that's exciting to you, but we're going to be saying hello to, Amanda said, my dreams have been super dark this week. Super exciting to hear this. Yeah, you guys have been prepared. I've talked to all of your guidance systems. I've sat with each one of your higher selves and been like, we good, we cool, we okay, can we integrate this, we good? And everybody's is a yes. So that'll be really fun. Sounds yummy. Yes, it does. Yeah, you'll stop kind of like feeling like everything's happening to you and instead starting to be the creator, which is really what the 9th is about. It's where you merge with the creative force. So you now become it. Remember that thing I posted in the 8th chakra that was like, you're God and the thing flicking you is God and what you're being flung into is God, and you're, you know, every single angle of this. You really start to feel that from here on out, that you are the creator. This is what people say in the white spiritual community. They're like, you're the creator of your own experience. But do you see, without the context of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and the realities of each one of those, if you can't be with those, just popping off and telling a ninth dimensional truth of like, you create your own reality is really disassociative. So I would never say things like that to people because I don't want them to disassociate. I want them to get in their bodies. I want them to know that it's okay if you don't feel the creator, like you're the creator of your own experience. You guys are different. You've done the work, you built the strength, you built the energy, and now you can be the creator of your own experience. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just have a big, juicy, healing, preparative, is that a word? Clean out. Go ahead and close your eyes. Get your body really cozy. We're going to be in this for a little bit. And like I say, just be operating on forgiveness. You know, like whatever comes up, just be like, oh, look, I'm unconscious here. That's okay. I still love and respect myself. All right. Now, it's also worth saying that if you'd like to mute me at any point and do this work for yourself, or my cadence on things is too fast or too slow for you, please, by all means, do you. This is the beginning of you really, me less being your teacher and more being your collaborator in this. So, would you engage with your energy? And notice what that means. For some of you, that might mean immediately grounding, and that feels good. For some of you, it might mean sensing the room around you before you move into your physical form. For others, you might want to start at your 7th and just check in with your knowingness. So would you notice where you'd like to begin today, engaging with yourself? And just notice your pathways in this evening. And become aware of what you're tracking with. Is it thoughts? Is it emotions? Is it sensation? What do you notice first? This is part of your process. And would you honor it as such? This is sacred time. When you are ready, do you begin to gather your attention from whatever you've been noticing? And would you use your intention to root yourself to the earth? feel that connection happening in your pelvic bowl. Feel that connection happening in your feet. Those are your main channels that you naturally interact with the earth through. But would you notice if any other organ system, chakra, part of your body needs an individual grounding cord, just to love it up a little extra? You begin to allow everything to slow down. Remembering that this connection to the earth allows you to drain out anything ready to go. So if you've really been chewing on something, or there's a topic that keeps popping up, would you be willing to let it go down your grounding cord and let the earth have it for a little while? And then in addition to that, I always like to demand a different answer. Get a little sassy. So as you're releasing, would you begin to feel the earth connecting with you? You're sitting in an animal form that belongs to this planet. Would you notice that your consciousness is married to this thing? So married to it that you're going to have to heal it. All the things that we grew up with that are out of alignment with our real humanity and our true desire to express, live, thrive. All of those patterns can go down your grounding, anything that gets in the way of that. And would you allow the earth to come in and create regenerative and nurturing structures for the animal that you are sitting in? That's how they got us. All these like anti-cycles, endless expansion of capitalism. It's against all of nature, friends. We live in it. So would you let any unnatural cycling, would you let it go? Would you see the earth coming up, coming through, moving into all of the systems of your body, all the organ systems. Just as a review, first week we did cell healing, so let the earth energy move into your cellular structures. See it literally renewing, restoring, and giving balanced energy and life to these spaces. Let the earth energy into your integumentary system, which is your skin. Let the earth energy move into your muscular system. If you have any sore muscles or any muscular system that's holding on to excess tension because of some of the structures that we're talking about, to begin to acknowledge that and let the tension go. Or at least intend to, and then explore where you get to with it. And then we've got the skeletal system, our bones, that ancient rock mass part of us. So much wisdom in that space. Would you let the earth energy in? Let it clear out any old woundings. Today is Labor Day. I can't tell you the damage that we all have from employment trauma through the generations. It's staggering. Take a feel. Would you liberate your ancestors and yourself from patterns, structures that stole their life from them? This is why people used to drink so much. Still do. Letting the earth in is radical on this level because you get a chance to bring in some fresh regenerative cycling. Who knows, there might be some wisdom in your bones as to what kind of structures we can use in the future. And then would you let the earth energy into your nervous system? Allow the earth energy to take it from nervous to calm, balanced, attentive, yet relaxed. Really saturating that spinal column, your brain, and all the nerves that come out of the spinal column and go to all your organ systems, saturating them in a beautiful, neutral earth energy. This is a good time to remind you of the Earth Star, letting that big blooming platform beneath you open up and really let the earth energy just flow. If there's kind of a paltry trickle that's coming into your space, would you go ahead and give it permission to really turn on? And trust that at some level it is. Right, into the circulatory system, letting the earth energy just actually cycle around your body, getting that neutral earth into all those nooks and crannies, all the different places, into your blood. Into the huge web of veins and arteries and capillaries. And then the lymphatic system, letting the earth energy move through the lymphatic system, helping to move any of the tissues, juices in those organs. Let the juice all move around. And then would you breathe deep with me here? We're going to do 5 big deep breaths. Letting the earth energy move into your respiratory system. Breathing out, anything ready to go. Breathing in. Nice neutral earth, holding at the top, squeezing it into your systems. Let it in. And let it out. And then let your breathing return to normal. And let's say hi to your urinary and excretory systems. We mostly focused on the kidneys, the ureters, the urethras, the bladders. But we also said a little hello to the colon. We'll do that in a second. Do you thank your kidneys with earth energy? Do you thank your adrenals with earth energy? It's like the first thing I do when somebody's all whacked in their body is just run earth through the adrenals. So important. In fact, I think if you want to deprogram capitalism, you've got to just consistently run earth energy through those adrenals and through the third. Three more systems that we have going on here. And then we'll shift around. The reproductive system, which is what we're going to be covering tonight. Would you say hello to your reproductive system? Letting the earth energy move through your reproductive system. Beautiful. And then would you say hello to your digestive system? Last body system before we move into more light body work that we'll be doing the last week that we're together. Your digestive system. Your mouth, your esophagus, stomach, small intestines, even really like the liver and the gallbladder. The colon, and out through the anus. We've got this whole closed circuit system being completely washed in neutral earth energy. I tend to hold a lot of stress and trauma here from early childhood, so this is a good one to clean out for me personally. It might be the same for you. We use it 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. It's a heavy load on a system. Do you notice anything that you're carrying in there that you are complete on, that you're ready to be done with and to move forward? Would you let the neutral earth energy move out the old, make space to till the soil for a regenerative cycle in your digestive system? Imagine all your little microbiomes and viromes, which they're now doing science stuff on. There's viruses in there too that are beneficial. So enjoying all of that. Letting your ecosystem exist in that space and let it be fed and rebalanced by the neutral earth. Would you also let the neutral earth run through your first, your second, your third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh personal body chakras? And just for fun to experiment and explore, would you let the earth energy reach up into your 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th? See if that's real for you. All right, so we've cleaned out the body. Did a great job. Would you let your body move around a little bit, shake out, recenter, stretch something that needs stretching? Now we're going to work with the cosmic energy, and we're going to work primarily on our aura structure. So, just like you said hello to the earth below you, and you allowed it to help you heal your body, support your body, returning to more of a homeostasis and a fertile ground for your life to happen, would you open up to cosmic energy the same way you did to earth? Would you allow yourself to engage with the neutral cosmic energy that is always around you? It's so fun how many people are working with astrology now. That really is such a marker of us being cosmic beings and the energies of the cosmos really having an effect on our lives. Can't you tell when it's Mercury retrograde now? Can't you tell that Mars is retrograde? Can't you tell when Pluto's conjunct whatever the hell? You can feel it. You're actually attuned to it just as much as anything else. So the themes and the lessons that are coming through in the cosmos, would you be, the term that I want to use is submissive to it, but in collaboration with it? Sort of acquiescent to the fact that everything moves around up there and that we're going to feel it. Yeah. So would you see neutral cosmic coming down, and would you engage with what that looks like for you today? What do you notice cosmic is like? Do you see it raining down? Is it a steady stream? Is it just this vibe? What do you notice? It's a little bit less dense than doing the body stuff and the earth stuff, so it can feel a little abstract. Do you make it solid with your attention? Notice the color, notice the energy. You might even just want to pause it and be like, hi, what are you here to give me today? How are we going to collaborate? As a review, neutral cosmic is the energy that creates worlds, new opportunities, magic, shifts, miracles. This is the energy that will help you do that. So if there's any stagnant or stuck themes in your life, you know what chakras they correspond to, yeah? You can tell, right? Safety issues first, sexuality, sensuality second. Let the cosmic energy come in. Let it disrupt the status quo a little bit and bring some freshness. If you feel those authority figure issues, or you feel like you're not in charge at some level, really let it into your seventh. If you can't find your vision, let it into your sixth. If you feel like the voices inside of you are nasty little goblins, let it in to your fourth or your fifth. If you want to heal your heart space, let it into your heart. And because today's Labor Day and capitalism has destroyed our third chakras, would you say hello to the third? Really letting neutral cosmic come in and bring, I don't know, new models of employment, universal healthcare, universal basic income, anything that's life affirming. And then let it run into any places in your body that need cosmic or need that kind of support. And before we move into the aura, I want to do something fun with you guys. You can use this earth and sky meditation on exterior things in your life as well. So things that are separate from you, or maybe should be separate from you, like bank accounts, business structures, creative ideas, anything that you feel like is out of your control sometimes is a good one. What you can do is visualize it grounding to the center of the earth, being filled with neutral earth energy. I do this for my bank account all the time, and I stopped having random fuckery go on with my bank account. I ground it to the center of the earth, and then I open it up to cosmic, and I just let it run independent of my energy. So sometimes my vibe is really strong. And if I've got something in my space, it starts to eat through everything. You can separate that out. So work your career, work your creative endeavors, work your bank account. You can even work your home space because it is separate from you. So work those things separate from you now. Relationships, that's a good one. Let the energy clear. And of course, we're not bypassing anything. We're letting the density that is stuff that we don't need to work through, that's just like backlog, we're letting that out. We're not sidestepping our lessons because we can't. And oftentimes when you're doing this, the lesson becomes clear, right? Because you're not swimming around in the shallow end. So now we're going to work into the layers of the aura. It's another little stretch break here. If you feel like your body needs to move a little bit just to wake yourself up, get back in the game. As a reminder, the chakra system is what is real for you. It's what's already been made physical. So all the pictures and energies in your space of what is real for you is in your chakra system. What is coming to you, what people are responding to in your space, the circumstances that make up your day from the exterior, that's your aura. So we're going to start with the layer furthest from you to honor our upper chakra work, the 12th layer. The outermost layer of your little egg that you're in. This is supposed to be made up of your energy. So, would you choose the color that feels absolutely appropriate at the 12th? And before you introduce it, would you just play with the color, spiff it up, make sure it's what you want. Not that you can't blow it up and change it, you totally can. But as you're doing that, would you allow and attend and see earth and cosmic flushing up through your aura, focused on the 12th layer? Let it flush through, clearing out anything ready to go for you at the 12th layer of your aura. And then would you saturate that layer in the color that you're working with here? Whew. And the 11th, let the earth and cosmic energy flush through this space. You don't even need to know what's in it right now. You will. But allow yourself to flush it through, cleaning out, clearing up anything in the way of you being able to connect with this part of your anatomy. Choosing a color that feels good to you in this layer, would you trust yourself? Even if it's a color you don't normally use, it's okay. Fill in the 11th layer of your aura. All the way around, front to back, side to side, up and down. So we've got two nice dense layers filled with your own intentional energy. 10th layer, let the earth and cosmic move through that space, let it just filter out anything ready to go. And then saturating the 10th layer of your aura in whatever color that you're wanting to work with at that layer. Trust yourself, trust your choices, know that this is all play. Right. Staying strong, staying feisty. Would you move into the ninth layer? It's all lit up, can you tell? It's like dancing around, ready for you tonight. So excited to get to know you and to be an intentional part of your life. This layer is a really important one. So would you notice the energy in that space? Would you let the earth and cosmic do its thing? And then would you introduce the color that you want to work with at this layer? Eight more and then we're ready to go. So eighth layer, take a look at the energy in there. Notice, feel intuit. Trust your information. Let the earth and cosmic energy roll through that space. Cleaning up and clearing out anything ready to go. Anything at all. And then introduce the color that you're wanting to work with in that space. Let it saturate and fill. If you kind of find yourself going in and out of consciousness or feeling all type of ways, that's okay. Humans don't really do this work. You're the first one to ever do this in your family. I'm willing to bet, unless you had some wizards way back when. But for the most part, somebody would probably just smoke a cigarette and move on in your family. Be like, well, it's time to have a beer now. You're doing something really different. Give yourself a lot of credit. Give yourself a lot of love right now. Really saturate that eighth layer of your aura with all your might, whatever color you are wanting to work with today. And when you feel like that is complete, would you go to the seventh layer? Does anyone notice it's a little bit easier than those outer layers? You've already worked all of these. You've built a lot of this structure. Lean on that. Move quickly. and trust the way you move. Let the earth and cosmic through. Let it do its job, cleaning up, clearing out any old patterns, shit that you don't need to deal with anymore, authority figure issues, blah, 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 blah. Let it all go. And then choosing the color and the tone at the 7th layer. Go ahead and saturate your 7th layer with this color. And anchor your sovereignty and your own authority in your life. Six more, here we go. 6th layer of the aura, earth and cosmic. And then what's your color? Saturate it all the way around like you're in a little bubble. Alrighty. Let's go to the 5th. You got this. Decide what color, what tone you're setting the 6th layer at, and go ahead and fearlessly saturate it. Wait, the 5th. The 5th. We don't want to go backwards. Communication. Letting that energy reset. Trusting your little 5th layer bubble. And saying hello to your 4th layer bubble. Noticing the energy that's in that space, letting the earth and cosmic energy do its job. And then resetting the color. Fourth layer, earth and cosmic. Finding the color, resetting the tone. Go for it. Third layer, let the earth and cosmic flow through. Finding the color, resetting the tone lovingly. You don't have to fight for your space in here. This is just for you. Second layer, earth and cosmic to rinse it out. Resetting the tone at the second. And the last, but certainly not least, first layer. Right. Letting Earth and Cosmic come through, letting it clear out. Resetting the tone. And then I'm going to take a couple minutes here to just be quiet and let all of this settle in. Would you find your body if you feel a little away from it? Just stretch a little bit. Take a couple minutes to just reacclimate. I'll come back in. Ooh, all right. So slowly but surely making your way back into the collective space. Definitely want to engage with you guys around how that was, what you noticed. Way to go. We're going to be doing nice, Nicole. Awesome. Yeah, that's what we call in the psychic world a clean out, because it feels like a big clean out. I got some feedback that it felt really hard at times here in the room. And that's really normal for people to feel like this is challenging and to kind of have to keep pulling yourself back. But the more you do it, the more that it will feel normal and real. Anybody else? How'd it go? What would you notice?
I actually noticed a familiarity with the like 8th through 12th, really, which I was pretty astounded by. And in the 9th, I really noticed that my body likes, that's where I find stillness. Like when I tap into the energy of stillness, that's almost kind of where I go. And I didn't realize that ever.
Super cool. Right on. Beautiful. Did you notice any places that were like, ooh, or like you kind of went out or couldn't quite get into them?
Second, the second layer for sure. uh, third a little bit, and those are the main ones.
Right on. Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Iris said I had to move my body a lot. Yeah. Um, I tend to like get out of my body really quickly because I'll hit things that I don't normally, my consciousness doesn't normally interact with, or at least not in that way. So I know what you mean by having to move your body a lot. I did, especially in the beginning of my awakening process, like 4-hour walks around Chicago. I would just walk and 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 smoke a little bit more pot and then keep walking and listening to music or listening to Abraham or listening to some other lecture series from some spiritual person just to keep the energy moving in my physical form. So that is also extremely normal. To have to move when you're doing this amount of movement work. And that's okay. Anybody else? Anybody like still asleep right now? It's still a nap zone?
I kind of felt like when we got back into, let's see, when we hit, like I was kind of bored at 6. I was like, oh, this is fucking boring now. Like and then fifth, what felt the same. Like what needs to be said anymore? Nothing needs to be said.
Yeah.
And then the fourth, I was like, oh yeah, this is okay. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm human. The heart. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah. And then the third, you know, me and the third, I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is the gross part of being human. Yeah. And then the second, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I'm human. And then the fourth or the first felt really good, like coming home. So I noticed the lower chakras really since for the first time since I've been working with you, where I was just kind of like, oh, womp womp. especially the third and the sixth for some reason. I was just like, yeah, this is lame.
Yeah. So that's the predominant energy, right? Isn't it good to know that when you go to engage with your vision and you go to engage with your doingness, that there's a bored kind of energy there? Now that you know that, you can actually do something with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the higher one just gave me a context of like, oh, yeah, this is like not familiar, but where I want to hang out. Like it felt very dreamy. My Piscean nature was like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Here. And yeah, I just didn't want to, it's not that I didn't want to come back. It was just like, not as interesting, I guess, to me.
I think that's really beautiful to know that. You know,
yeah.
There's no particular way it needs to be. It's just like, where's our energy right now? Where are we drawn to? What do we want? Really nice. So Maggie added, I felt the same as Iris about body movement. I kept wanting to do the process with my eyes open and multitask with current reality chores. Avoidance maybe, disassociating and fighting in it a lot in the first half of the process before I was finally able to settle in during the second half of the process. Yeah, sometimes it takes that long to get in. We're going to be doing a lot of these like psychic push-up things over the next couple of weeks through the end of our series together, because this is the strength I want you to have built. And sometimes it takes like just, come into doubles. You might have to meditate a couple times a day. You might have to really start to take over your energy frequency from these things that want you to focus externally. Of course, we want to focus externally. We're creators. We're here. This is a very loud game. Of course, we want to be here. But where everything comes from are these finer layers of programming. And so when you change it here, when you notice that energy here, then you can really shift the reality here. And again, sometimes it takes half the time that I'm doing this to get all the way into my body to like really start doing it. So you're not wrong. Amanda said, I felt like I wanted to stay in the lower chakras today, wanted to sink into the earth and hide inside of it. But then once we got to the ninth layer, it was all fire for me. Beautiful. Let's get some in. It's cute. Everybody's internet keeps like popping off, which I think is really funny. You can tell we're in the upper chakras. The internet's like trying to keep up with us. Chelsea said, my body wants rest. I went on autopilot, relinquished resistance, and let it flush. Yes, yes, non-resistance. It's kind of a weird concept because not only are we like very much taking control of our energy and being like, this is mine, I'm going to clean it up, I'm going to do the work in here. So it's like a deep engagement with it. At the same time, you're having to work the dichotomy of like just absolute non-resistance. The ability to kind of let go and be like, whatever. So when you're in a meditation and everything goes tits up and you're just like, what? I don't even know where I am, right? Like when I was in the 6th to the 5th, I was like, there we go. And then I had to come back and be like, wait, no, we're in the 5th. When that happens, non-resistance. Just be like, whatever, go ahead. Because it's going to happen anyway. If your intention is to move earth and cosmic energy, you're really just there observing it. I want you to kind of commandeer force a little bit because I want you to learn what that feels like while also holding the dichotomy of non-resistance and just letting it happen. So you're working both of those strengths. Amanda said the fire lit everything up and I saw myself kind of waking up and there was big snakes all around. Yeah, let's talk about that. All right, so this is a place where a lot of goblins live, right? The out-of-body beings, the parasites that people talk about, all of that stuff can all be found at the 9th layer. We're just going to go right into it. It's, you know, when you dream and you go out of your physical form, you're actually taking all of your chakras and your energy with you, which is why when you start to develop psychically, shit starts being more of the dream down here rather than being like, wow, I wish I could do this, or I wish I could have this, or I wish I could go here, or I wish. I need to manifest this. This is how you manifest it. You build a strong energetic system so that when you leave your body and you go and get information, you can come back with it. You know when you're like waking up in the morning and you're having those dreams, those like morning dreams that are so potent? You're getting closer to your body. You're getting closer to the earth's physicality and your own physicality. And that's where a lot of the stories and the structures and the municipalities live. Municipalities is this concept in psychic work that basically there are, just like there are in regular physicality, there's governmental agencies, there's panels, there's councils, there's all of these things that you can go to and engage with around whatever subject you want to engage with. The 9th layer is definitely where you can do some of that work. And when you're dreaming and you're coming back through, a lot of those nightmares or scenarios that are happening, you're right at the 9th. And then you come through that, you get close to your body, and then you get in at the 7th. So you're actually really, really, really familiar with your 9th layer. You're just probably not used to working with it like this. Elsa said, I felt really easy today, just flowing through my own process as you were guiding. I felt like I was taking control and managing my space. Oh my God. I didn't really ask for any information, just resetting a few tones. I've been so ready for that exercise set. Thank you. You're so welcome. Really happy to hear that. Really happy to hear that. You know, that's the way it's supposed to be. Anyway. All right. So let's talk a little bit about some of this information that I found on the 9th. First off, I want to say there's not a ton of information on it. Us beginning to work with it is really us beginning to bring through more information and knowledge around these out of body or transpersonal chakra centers. So I want you to know that if you feel like you're in the soup and you can't quite figure out what exactly these next few layers are, that's okay. You're actually helping to build the relationship to them for all of us, because we don't really function at these levels consciously yet. We do function at them, but not consciously. So when I was doing some of my 8th and 9th chakra deep dives with information, so there's two different sides. Like, I look at other people's information after I have my own years-long engagement with it that just comes from my own thing. And one of the things that is so cool, especially at these upper layers, is the information matches in a lot of ways, or there's like little bits and pieces that come through that I didn't really think about before and just kind of like saw off in the distance. So I highly encourage you to have your own experiences of this, but then yes, be reading about these different layers of the aura, be reading about these different chakras, whatever information you can get, and check it with your own info around it. So anyway, one of the things that this person was saying, a website called Four Winds, which is actually quite lovely. They said, what did they say about the 8th? I forget how they differentiated it here, but they said the source of the 8th chakra is the 9th chakra, which exists outside of the luminous energy field and extends throughout the cosmos, beyond time and space, which is always crystalline and pure. I disagree. And then it said, my mentor believed that the 8th chakra is where God, this is it. My mentor believes that the 8th chakra is where God dwells within us. And it's also the observer mind. Like, you're building that observer consciousness to the rest of it. The 9th chakra, and this is so beautiful, is where we reside within the creator. And when I saw that sentence, I was like, that's so true. This is where we become the creator, and where we start to reach into that. To reach this area, we ascend the silver cord of light that rises up through the 8th. There's only one 9th chakra, for there is only one of us in spirit, which I think is really beautiful. We're moving more into the spirit realms, the more collective realms, and it really is where you decide to become the creator. Now, I want you to think back through your life of all the times you went to create the life that you really wanted for yourself, and what systems, structures, and forms have gotten in the way of that. Take a thought on that for a second. The systems and structures and belief systems within you, the systems and structures and belief systems outside of you. Notice the density between, I would like to live freely as a person who's this way, with this type of sexuality, and this type of body, and this type of space, and this type of whatever. I want to live free. Feel the density between you trying to do that. That's what we're saying hello to tonight. No problem. External structures primarily, yeah. The 9th feels like where I talk to the goddess. Hell yeah. Yeah. All right, so there's municipalities, right? You can speak to any level of the government or authority figures or gods at these outer layers. This is where they exist. So when I'm doing my more social justice psychic work, this is where I'm residing. I'm going to talk to the beings that run the president. I'm going to talk to the beings that run Mitch McConnell. I'm going to sit with these different entities like the military, and I'm having a conversation that's like, hi, this doesn't work anymore. What's your vibe? And starting to work together on this so that they understand that it's time to change. They're fighting so intensely because they think they're protecting the structures below it. They don't want to destroy the whole world in the way that it's been created, but it's our job to do that and to bring everything back into alignment, regeneration, nourishing cycles that we've gotten out of. This is why 20 years ago, the feminine in the year 2000 was like, no, and went about having a massive wake up event that we have all seen culminated in all of us sitting here and being able to do this work. So allow yourself to engage tonight with these different municipalities. Who are the beings that you would like to speak to? And we're just going to go light on this, even though there's a million different ways that we can take it. I want you to explore here while we're in this safe space, the panels, the energies, the different municipalities. And you might even want to talk to like your local internet provider and be like, hey, my internet's really slow. What the fuck? What's going on? Can we reset the agreement here? Can we reset the tone? And just begin to kind of like lightly work at those levels. So go ahead and close your eyes. Have your notebook near you for sure. And would you choose what level of municipalities you want to yell at, engage with, talk to? Now, oftentimes the one that pops up is the one that you have in your genetics. So if father's line was military, that might pop up for you. If your mom was in the IRS or something, maybe that'll pop up. So what I want you to do is think about who you want to engage with. And then I want you to have your body nice and grounded, which it already is. You guys did all that work. You did it. Walk your happy little consciousness up to your 7th chakra. March your full chakra system and aura system right up through the 8th. And then would you climb the little silver ladder like there's no space and no time up into the 9th. And you might just want to like bust through like the Kool-Aid man. Just like, ah, I'm here. Giggling irreverence works in this space. You belong here. You already exist here, so you might as well have some sovereignty, eh? Would you call forth any of the municipalities, structures, councils, anything that you would like to speak to? Would you take a look at their energy? What do you notice about them? Would you thank whatever beings that you're working with here? I'm going to come back into collective space gently. Just let them know you'll be right back. BRB. Going on a little break. As you walk back into your body, just really root down into your feet and ankles, into your hands. Get all the way back in. And then let's chat about what you noticed. This is a broad concept here, so I want to see what came up for you guys when you engaged. Who'd you talk to? What'd you notice?
It felt really one-sided for me. Like not, I don't know, like I was like, hey, let's everything. And then, I don't know, should I be like asking more questions or what are other people doing?
That's what we're going to find out. But yeah, you can absolutely ask questions. It looks like it's a sovereignty thing because it's the first time that we're engaging with some of these constructions, certainly like very directly. And so a lot of that like human-based stuff is kind of like when you're sitting in court, it's like, oh God, you know, you're not the one in charge. And so it can feel kind of intimidating. But you can ask them anything you want to ask them. You can get snappy about shit. You can be like, I don't want any more fucking parking tickets, and I'm not kidding. What is your problem? Like, you can allow yourself to be with and communicate with whomever. And the idea here is that you are bringing more and more sovereignty to that conversation, which will build over time.
Yeah, I felt like I was just like, this is the way it's going to be from now on.
Right. Which is what the universe, do you guys notice that when you like manifest something or when something like finally becomes real, it's because you just were tired of it not being that and we're willing to just be like, no, it's going to be like this now. And then you move all your energy in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
I love that way of dealing with psychic work because it puts you in that creator zone. You realize that you are the creator at the same time that you're being created with. All right, so Sammy was talking to the military. Amanda was talking to the NRA. Thanks, Queen. Nicole was talking to the president and his cronies. Thank you. Daniela, the Office of White Male Leadership. Maddie said, I got quite feisty, and the Council of Local Racists. I love this. They kind of look like Jabba the Hutt in a black vortex. Exactly. Exactly. What did you guys notice about communicating with them? Did you feel that level of sovereignty, or did you have that same level of human, like, I'm not in charge here? Which is okay if you did. It takes a while to build.
Yeah, they tried to pull some of that fuckery, and then like I was like, no. So what I noticed is like working with dogs, I had to match their energy and then go above it. Like, so they wanted all, it was like, it was this panel of obviously alien intelligence who were very attached to showing me this box as a structure, like this like 3-dimensional box, and this is how it is, and this is the strongest structure. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't buy that shit. And so then they'd try to like go higher or more intense with it. And then this is so bad. I feel weird about saying this, but you know this, Erin. My higher self, Beyonce Queen, who is what shows up just on its own, came out and was like, started putting on adornments that were very ancient, but also like universal. And every time they would try to pretend that it was a way or reinforce this very boxy structure, she would out adorn them. And then they got quiet, and then they got really pingy. Like I started seeing them run back and forth in this room and like talking like rhubarb, rutabaga, like hushed masculine tones, like trying to confer about a way to outsmart or out energy. I don't know how to talk about it very well. Yep. The words are not adequate. And so then I just sat there in silence, and all of my aura and chakras came up as like my posse, and they sat on either side of me in their colors. And as they started to confer, different ones would step forward into the alien energy and be like, we can see you. Like, we know what you're doing. And then it would step back and we'd be silent and let them ping all over the place. So when I came back, I was just like, I'll be back in a minute. You guys figure this out, and left.
Be still my heart.
It was rad.
Oh God, I love watching you guys get empowered psychically. Thank you for that. Sammy said I felt like it was just getting and seeing information rather than it being a conversation. When you first show up in those, oh there you are. When you first show up in those spaces, it is, you're just like, oh God, you know, it's like going to the government for the first time ever. You're not going to be on the floor of the house presenting something. You're going to be like, oh, wow, there's a lot of energy here. So if you guys are new to this, get yourself cozy just being at this level. Don't let anything mess with you, right? This is where you got to kind of be fearless a little bit and be like, oh yeah, right. No. And understand that you are it and it is you. Same way we did with the fourth. Everything's you. You're the all that is. So if there's something dark and like goblin-like that crawls out of the depths, like it is you and you are it. And that should be comforting because you can merge with it then. You can like get intimate. And once you're intimate, you can have an effect on it. If you're separate, you can't do anything. This is why we're calling out bypassing. This is why we're calling out the isolation of white programming. This is why we're calling out all these things that keep us separated, because we can't affect something unless we get in and actually merge with it. So this is the problem with like light and dark spirituality. If you're not willing to merge with the dark stuff, we can't ever change it. If you're not willing to talk to the actual reptilians, they can't know that we're here being like, hey. And do you notice that I don't talk about any of this shit publicly? Do you all notice that? We're working on this stuff, but you're not going to see me talk about this publicly. Why is that? Because to blow out someone's nervous system without all the work that we did to build the foundation to talk about reptilians casually at the end of class, then no one's nervous system is blown out. All of you are grounded. All of you are safe. That is very important in the conversation. This is what happened to QAnon people. 9th, 10th, 9th lit up. 10th, 11th, they saw all the information in there because we're all waking up together. But they did that disassociation thing because what's in here is too heavy for them to be with. This is more fun out here. Let's talk about the cabal, which is true. There are, like, you can go on YouTube, there's all of these TED Talks about sex trafficking and all the things they do. It didn't just happen this year. This is something that's been going on a long time. There's some gross shit going on. There's some reptilian shit going on. Reptile brain that run people and all they want is power. They exist. But you also exist. And so when these people got word of what was happening here, they couldn't bring it in and be like, oh, my mom was raped. I was raped. It's now about the cabal. We want to bring that energy in. We want to find where we intersect with a lot of this stuff so we could gobble it up, so that we can assimilate it, so that we can actually bring it near us. If there is a reptilian force, which I just think is a hyper projection of our own reptile brain, if there is that force, we need to be communicating with that. We need to be communicating with our primal parts of our brain that are just about survival and they're just about our own power structures, so that we don't have to make them so separate. It's the intimacy that really makes it so that something isn't separate. It's that isolation, it's that separation that makes people able to do things, or beings able to do things independent of consequences. So Nicole said, I just felt this incredibly cold reptilian energy and fear emanating from them. I know. And that just makes my Cancerian heart be like, come here, goblins, come here, reptiles, come here. They obviously have been so far gone from the collective heart space that they need to be, destroyed with love. Meta said,
I also noticed that they're
Go ahead.
I also noticed that they're really not connected to the womb space. Like there's this almost fear of it that it's like they can't comprehend coming to Earth and having the ability to create life. It's so foreign, or they're so removed from it, that it's like they're afraid of it. They're also totally grossed out by it, and they don't understand it anymore. It feels cold. Like that fire of creation, that fire is gone.
Yeah.
Somehow.
It is. That's why they feed. That's why we just consume. When we're in our reptilian brain, we just consume. We don't ever think about the full cycle, right? So even if these beings are just sort of figments of our imagination that we have enacted upon the world by our own disassociation from our primality, Judeo-Christian programming, that will happen. We will kind of create this race of beings. Now, they might be real. They might walk out of the cosmos in a couple of months and be like, Donald Trump's one of ours. I know from my own journeying out through these layers that we are hybridized energies of all of these things. So there's nothing outside of you. That's exciting. And I want to get you excited about that. You have a reptile brain. You probably have a bunch of star DNA from other things. And it'll be exciting for you guys to like be dancing around your rooms, on Wednesday and being like, oh my God, I'm this. Huh, interesting. A lot of information is going to be coming through about what and who you are and the role that you play on this planet in this huge awakening process that we're having. Amanda said, I have my snakes and fire with me, right on. Maddie said, I felt like my presence was very unexpected and I busted in the Kool-Aid Man for sure. Oh my fucking God, this is mind-blowing revelation. Yeah. I like to bust in on him. I like to be like, hey baby, I see you. I see you. Because then they're not expecting it. They're not expecting humans to have a fully operational system. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Erin, can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
So can you elucidate kind of on the connection between why this information of what and who we are, why that will come in this week, because we're touching on these other things like these goblins and beings?
Yeah, the beings. Because you are being. You are beingness. You are the all that is. So some of the parts and pieces of like what and who you are and why you're here, now that you're able to communicate with any of them, they'll be like, hey, it's not just the goblins. I went dark because I just want you guys to see the darkness, but it's also a lot of light beings, a lot of guidance, a lot of ancestors, a lot of different structures and forms are at this level that are going to be communicating with you. And now they don't need to do it just in your dreams because you're able to function at this level. So you could be checking a customer out and all of a sudden it's like, and it comes in all of a sudden. You guys know, I see nods. You guys know what I'm talking about, where it's like a Tuesday afternoon and you're like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, it's not just the bad stuff. I just wanted you to say hello to the bad stuff because we do need to like engage with them. And I want them to know that all 16 of us fucking see them. Do you know what I mean? Amanda said, I unexpectedly witnessed a birth this week, witnessed the delivery of a baby, was past the warm bloody baby afterward, this real room energy, and the warmth of it feels like the antidote to the cold reptilian energy. Yes, it does. When you cultivate that creativity, when you cultivate that energy, we're about to do the reproductive system too. This couldn't be a better match, right? That is them being like, oh my God, this is the opposite of what I have going on. They will come to you. This is like when you turn on your light, the moths come. You cannot protect yourself from that happening. You can only have a full aura system that protects you, meaning like they don't come all the way in and encroach upon you like people who don't have an energetic system built, which is why I do not talk about this shit in public. Because they don't have energetic systems built. It's really irresponsible. Every fucking teacher that's talking about this stuff and not doing this with people has so much to answer for in karma. I don't even want their process. Like I don't even want their life. They can have the 400,000 followers and I will take not having to deal with that karma ever. It's so irresponsible. But now you know that when you turn on your little love light, then all the moths come, but you are the all that is, and they are you, and they're coming home to you to be seen. These guys are things that rarely get seen, like the government, like the NRA, like fill in the blank with everybody you were talking to. I want you to see them because it's a collective spell that like all of a sudden 16 psychics are like out at the ninth chakra layer. They don't like that. I mean, they don't, whatever. Keep talking to them. It's mind-blowing working in a spiritual space and being responsible for a team in that the environment and understanding these prerequisites now. Yeah, people are actually starting to get spirituality. And like there are actual, not rules, but kind of, there's parameters.
Responsible.
Thank
You're
you.
responsible for your fucking impact. And if you go out there and blow shit up, you have to know what you're doing because it comes back.
Yeah.
It comes back.
It does. It does. And you guys are in a space now where you can do that and then withstand what's going to happen because you've already destroyed it in yourself. Most people are like, I want to destroy the government. Like, have you destroyed your own authority issues? Have you destroyed the part of you that completely runs off of somebody else's information instead of your own? Have you destroyed the part of yourself or healed the part of yourself, repaired the part of yourself that has self-worth issues and doesn't think you deserve to be at these levels? You do. This is meant for you. Okay, so we're talking about the womb space. Let's talk about reproductive systems. Hold on, let me pull her up here. Oh, that's the auras. Hold up. So it's needless to say, but you guys are going to be experiencing some pretty cool stuff this week. I don't want you to fear anything. I'm here for you as per usual. Please reach out, but I'm fully expecting some really fun text messages and emails and DMs. Okay, so the reproductive system is an organism that is also known as the genital system and is the biological system made up of the anatomical organs involved in sexual reproduction. Many non-living substances, such as fluids, hormones, and pheromones, are also important accessories to the reproductive system. So it's gorgeous. We love it. Hold on one second. Let me share my screen with you so that we can look upon the beautiful reproductive system. So, oops. Here we have the masculine and feminine structures. Let's take them in. Most of us here, although not all of us, have female reproductive systems, but we also have fathers, partners, people who helped to create us down our genetic line that have the male reproductive system. I think it's so interesting, like if you just let the ovaries drop through this way, it's the testicles. It's so cool. It's like the very similar thing. All right, you guys are super familiar with this. Would you hone in on a part that really feels like it wants your love and attention this evening? And even if you have a female reproductive system, you have a cosmic cock. So would you also work the energy of your masculine side's reproductive system, just for fun? All right, when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. We're gonna work the womb space first. Just really saying hello to the energy in the vagina, that canal between your labia and your cervix. And notice the energy that's in your vaginal canal. Get a note of what it is, and then would you check in with your cervix? Say hello to your little pink donut. Or the cosmic little pink donut, if you have masculine. reproductive structures. We're not doing any healing work on it just yet. We're just saying hello to the energy in that space. Just what's the tone of your cervix? A lot of people house cervical cancer fear here. Would you just say hello to that if you've got that? If someone in your family has had that before. Moving into your uterus, this nice thick muscular layers. I've had the privilege of holding a womb in my hand before. It's pretty amazing. It's very small, teeny tiny, smaller than you think it is. The uterus is the, I think, densest muscle tissue or strongest muscle tissue in the body. So powerful. Get a read on what the energy is in that space. Looping into your fallopian tubes, left and right sides. Would you see the energy in that space, the structures in that space? And ovaries. Right and left. Treat them as separate. They are. They have different energies in them, so notice both. All right. Let's do a little healing work. Would you run gold through your whole uterine, fallopian tube, ovary, cervix, and vaginal structures? As you do this, would you say hello to your feminine line? And would you give a lot of love and respect to your feminine line, no matter what type of people they were while they were alive, or are alive, what type of people they are now? It is liberating to send love, respect, and care back through your line. It heals the ancestry. And everyone responds well to respect. Everybody. So, less fighting, more respecting when we're in these spaces that are ancient and house so much of our power. Do not attempt to fight your feminine line. Don't do it. Just send them love. God knows they needed it and need it. All right. Now that your womb spaces are all settled, we are going to give a healing to the male reproductive system because also God knows they need it. And we do have a male student, so I want to walk through that. Take a big, deep breath. And would you say hello to the structures of the penis, urethra, scrotum, testes, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, and prostate gland? Would you notice the energy in these spaces? It's the energy in the testicles. It's the energy in the vas deferens that feed the testes. It's the energy in the prostate gland. And then finally saying hello to the penis and the energy of the penis. What's the energy in that space that you are seeing? And wherever you're at, just take some time, take a big deep breath, begin to gently make your way into class space for one last chat before we end for the night. How is it working your testes and your penis? What?
I love my cosmic cock. I have big cosmic cock energy. I love it. I love working with it.
I love that you guys were doing that because it was giving such a massive healing to the patriarchal control structures and some of the things that they really aren't getting seen on and really need to be seen on. So it was amazing. BCCE, big cosmic cock energy. It's true. A lot of us have that. We are king archetypes in female form, a lot of us. So yeah. I have to say it's been a long time since I thought about my ovaries and fallopian tubes, right? Yeah, energy collects in that space. Sammy said I gained more understanding of some of the pressure to reproduce from the male perspective. Yeah, I got that you guys were getting a bunch of cool information as you were working on that. And how deeply it's needed. You know, the masculine isn't doing things like this. I mean, sacred sons just started becoming a thing, which is like one of the only healing modalities I've seen in a men's group format that isn't like wildly problematic. I'm scared to scratch the surface and find problematic energy, but all the guys running it are really great. It's rare is what I'm saying. So it's really nice to have everybody tending to this, the cosmic cock, because then we can actually move some energy in it. How was your womb space, though? What do you notice?
I noticed that I was getting a lot of like maiden mother crone energy, which I've been doing. I've been going down rabbit holes of different saints and things. If you haven't seen Morgan Freeman's documentary on Netflix, it's great. That's like what prompted my little deep dive. Perfect timing with everything else. But yeah, just like moving from the vaginal canal to the cervix to the uterus, I was like just getting a bunch of very distinct like, oh, I'm here. Oh, that's why I don't really resonate with that area, because I'm not at that stage of my life living these experiences with it. And it was really resonating to like see that from the bigger picture.
Yeah, it's nice because all of us really do function at these larger frequencies and these outer layers. Just be given permission, like we built the strength and now we can actually exist up here without having to be like, oh God, I gotta come back into my body. Oh God, I gotta go back out of my body, you know? Like that up and down that we were talking about in Essential Psychic Skills, that kind of like manic depression cycle, that gets a little bit easier because we know how to get in. We're not like hitting our head up against all of the programming all the way down in anymore. We can take more of this acuity and our abilities that are out here and make it more real in here. It feels better to work things in a broader way, doesn't it? For a lot of us, it's just like, oh God, yeah, let's get out of the like me versus this thing, like me having a relationship with this thing. Just get out of that stuff and start to work it more from a broader perspective. This really helps if you'd like to steer consciousness on this planet in the direction of, I don't know, not fascism. Iris says, I have a lot of projects ready for me to actually bring into the world. So many creative stagnancy things coming up where I haven't put out into the world or fully fleshed out and let go of either because it's not what I actually want to create anymore. Really interesting. Yeah. The creative process is wild, isn't it? It's just like, I feel like I'm going to be studying it for the rest of my life. I feel like that's just what humans are going to do in their bodies. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so again, just a blanket reminder, reach out as needed. Let me know what you're going through on the Facebook page. Let us know any interesting things that are popping up. There was a million times I know personally I wanted to post about the stuff that was happening in the 8th, but it was all so fast and so furious. Like as soon as I would have an aha moment, it would be like on to the next thing. So if you feel that happens in these outer layers, but still I want to hear what you're going through, and I'm here to support you in this. We're getting out into the ethers, right? So it's okay if all of a sudden you get hit with something and you feel lost and you need to kind of like tether back to class or tether back to teacher energy. I'm here for that. So yeah, any other questions, thoughts? Shall we blow this pop stand? Yeah, go ahead.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So I've had a few different mentors that did clairvoyant work, and one of them taught me something called running feminine energies. And I was just wondering if you had any experience of this, because the way that it was like described to me is that we have like a ball of feminine energy outside, just right in front of the womb. And that is like one of a few different places that you ground when you want to run your feminine energies, and then it kind of connects up to your
Six.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how I work the energy specifically, but you can absolutely do that. This is a great space for you. This week is a great space for you to run those types of energies. We're not focused on that really in this class, but there's plenty of womb work that you can do, or feminine energies you can do. You can also run your masculine energies and work on your divine masculine. In fact, I highly recommend that, especially if you're feeling really weird about the dudes, which sometimes I was raised by somebody who's a misandrist and like actually hates men. And so I have that kind of karma in me that I need to go in and do my divine masculine work, because otherwise I completely disown him. So do both of them. And abandon him, and then he's all a hot mess. He's a hot mess. So yeah, do that type of stuff, but you can run feminine energy out of whatever. You've got it in your third, you've got it in your second, you've got it in your 10, you've got it everywhere. You can pull it in from everywhere, just like your collective feminine. Your own personal feminine energy, I think, is all up in your energy frequency. I think it's everywhere in there. So
Cool.
whatever feels good to you, run it. This might be the week to really do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, babe. Anything else, you guys? All right, so everyone close your eyes one last time. Would you take your 6th chakra and would you really anchor it into the center of your head? Be in that space of neutrality, amusement, and perspective. And would you see the energy of advanced psychic skills? You can do this in the symbolism of a rose. You can also just look at the words and watch the energy light up. Would you see what you see about it? This is a collective energy that we're all in. So let's tend to it together. You guys got the vibe? Would you go ahead and blow it up? And allow yourself to exist outside of the space and container of advanced psychic skills for a minute. Do you really pour down your gold sun energy from the 8th? Allow yourself to fill up with you. This is your information. This is your work. This is your knowledge. These are your energy spaces. Own them. And would you send out some love to the week ahead until we get to the 10th? All the things you're going to experience, the awakenings, the ahas, the divine trips and falls sometimes in your energy, the patterns that you're going to see lit up. Would you just be in a level of acceptance for that? And would you run gold through the rest of the week and set yourself up for a lot of forgiveness, unconditional love? And one last thing. Would you create a rose for advanced psychic skills? Would you ground the rose? Would you run some gold through it? And would you notice if anything has shifted? What do you see in this rose now? Beautiful. Go ahead and blow up whatever you're looking at. Begin to move your hands and your ankles and breathe really deeply. Thank you for being here for the past 10 weeks. I'll see you next week. Mwah.